shit. Oh god. I am not in the... Ugh. Okay. Sitting upright-ish. Hands on controller. Good time. Oh, I thought he was gonna jump the other way. Wait, I can't do that here. Ooh, double. Very nice. I'll heal up, sure. Thank you. Okay. Pretty good time. 45 seconds. Damn. Yeah, they missed. Not playing too great, but oh well. We'll see how it progresses. I might like die really early like the last couple of runs, or I might get really far if I'm focused enough. Could grind Hollow Knight for a bit today. Yeah, I'm down for that. A lot of stuff that I could be doing, like studying, exam week and all that. But nah. Hollow Knight. I watched the Spider-Man movie. Miles Morales into the Spider-Verse thingy. It just smells Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. Pretty goddamn good movie. Holy shit. The first one I'll be honest, I didn't really enjoy that much. I heard a lot of beautiful stuff about it. Heard it's gonna be awesome and masterpiece and shit. So I came in expecting like a really riveting, thought-provoking plot, like is usual for stuff that I at least feel like it gets high praise. But was kind of surprised that the plot itself, at least the way I was looking at it, wasn't really all that interesting. The character, Miles Morales, was really cool, and this like connection with different people, his story of like finding like role models and all that. I can acknowledge that as pretty good. But as the plot, like what happened in the story was just kind of goofy. Some particle accelerator spawned a big relief that made other Spider-Man jump in, and then like Miles just kind of happened to have like invisibility powers and lightning powers, which makes him like viable. It was kind of weird. There was like this Kingpin who was apparently was the bad guy, and he ended up beating him, not through his like training or being able to become like any like bigger, better plan or anything. He just kind of had lightning powers, and that's what beat the bad guy, which was kind of weird. This story though was really goddamn good. The first one also has like I kind of shit on it only without like pausing it, because what I did find out was that the best part of the movie was like the characterization and, you know, fucking animation. Holy shit, the animation is good. And the second one, like also, holy shit. Really they just have so much goddamn detail. Like they put so much effort into stuff that really didn't need it. Like one of the first bosses was like a vulture from a Renaissance universe, which just had a different art style to itself. It looked like it was made of paper. And every time they, like, some of the times they attack, there's gonna be like weird fucking math equations on the screen. Because he was like a Da Vinci kind of guy. It was like, I don't know, it's just weird. There were footnotes in the fucking movie. They just popped this like square up and said, by the way, what he just said, this is what it refers to. I was like, what? Just a square on the bottom right. It just popped up for a frame and then removed. There's like multiple panels happening at once, immediately like disappearing again. I just, what? They really just did that. It was so funny. It was like, it really did add something to it as well. And it was like really well made art for some really cool stuff that just kind of were there for a small moment, and that's it. And it made the movie so much better for it. There's this like huge attention to detail, and they don't like push it into your face. They just let you watch it if you want, like pay attention to stuff. You can see, hey, there's some cool as fuck shit going on. And then they do go over the top with like everything. They were never like cutting corners in animation or like making like background characters just goofy little stuff on the side. They really put their attention to it. And they blur it out in a cool way too to make sure you know what the focus is on. It wasn't just overwhelming with a lot of cool shit everywhere. It was overwhelming, but it was like still focused. I don't know how to explain that really well. They also just were so goddamn good at like color. They really know how to tackle that. I'm like kind of a nerd. I don't draw or have any interest in doing so really, but I know a lot about it just because like late night 3 a.m. hyperfixation moments where I just wanted to study something like how to cook a steak or draw something. For a long time that was just drawing. So I know a bit of like color theory and like how to make a scene good with like emotion. And they just did that all the fucking time. Knowing what's happening makes it so well to appreciate. It's like every fucking frame this like the movie was a fucking movie. Like it was a fucking painting. Putting so much effort into color composition, showcasing different ideas and feelings. There's at some point where a character was like kind of sad or just feeling down in the dumps. It was just a horrible time, and it was they showcased that by making everything around her blue, like really dark, the bluish colors, you know, linked with depression and stuff. And then someone would come and try to help her, and they would be like very orangey, huge contrast, and it just looked great. It wasn't too distracting either. I just realized at some point, wait, holy shit, look at that, and it was really nice. Characters when they talk, like suddenly their background would just change into like a flourish of colors to match what they're saying, the vibe. It was like the fucking scenery acted as background music, which is like also the fucking music was also great. Holy shit, yeah. Like I think from the first one that I saw a video essay about after a little before the movie actually, about how they used a certain instrument to correlate like different characters with that music instrument. The character of the vulture, there's like a siren noise, which anytime he was on screen, that siren noise would play, and every time the character would think of that think of the vulture, the main character, that siren would play. Anything about him, siren thing, and that was really fucking cool. And they just added him from that, and it worked. It was a really fucking cool noise, and it showed us like what to think, what to expect when that came around. Hollow Knight does it too, actually. Hornet has their own shtick as well, which is actually really cool. That's why I know about that stuff. But yeah, that was pretty cool. In the second movie, that vulture noise would come as well, like a siren sometimes. And I would notice it, like, oh yeah, I saw a video about this. Isn't that the siren, like vulture noise? The vulture's not here. Or not vulture, sorry, Prowler, that's his name. And they should have just show up. It was true. He was in a like heated fucking moment, everything was going to shit, and then heard this like siren noise, which was also a really good noise for like stressed moments. And then and then they just showed him. And the guy, I don't know man, I don't know what to say. It's just fucking cool. Can't really describe it without spoiling it. But it was a really cool moment where a main character was going through a lot of shit, thinking about a lot of stuff that everyone had told him. Everything was going in his mind like really fast, and the animation was really good, conveying how like fucking cramped everything felt, like just horrifying. And then the last thing we hear is just some motivational words from his deceased uncle, which happened in the first movie, so it's fine, I can't spoil that. And it's like to keep going, which he had mentioned earlier, and it was just kind of nice, and it made sense. He's doing all this shit, and everyone's against him. And there's like, I was kind of wondering, I understood why, but I didn't understand how much effort he was putting into it. I don't know, it just makes sense. But that also brings me to one of my least favorite things about the movie. My biggest complaint, which really just left me a sour taste as well. It sucked. The movie was a 10 out of 10, but the ending made it like just like a 5. It really just felt half-baked, because it was there is no ending. They just ended it with a to be continued, and that's it. So much fucking cool like setups and some payoffs as well, and just like setting up a really cool thing. We have this climactic moment. We were right at the climax, but there was just no resolution, and that sucks. I feel like they spent a lot of time fleshing out every character and making a lot of like giving themselves time to do everything right, which I fucking love. That's nice to do. It makes the story so much better for it. But it sucks that it had to cost a fucking ending. Like, we just didn't get one, and now we have to like wait 3 years to get it. And I'm just sorry, I just don't like it. I don't know, man. I'm a Game of Thrones fan, so maybe I'm just PTSD from thinking about all this cool shit that could have happened, and then just cutting it short and then showing us later, and it just sucks. I don't know. I'm just kind of pissed off. It's a really good time, and then they decided no ending for you. Makes sense though. They put a lot of effort into giving everything like time to be done right. Characters were fleshed out. Nothing felt forced or like too quick. Even like minor characters that were just kind of showcased quickly had time on screen that really like made them distinct and made them interesting. I enjoyed every Spider-Man like version we saw. Was just a nice fucking time. There's some really cool. I really like the there's the Spider-Punk guy, Punk Fetter, Anarchist. He was just a punk, and it was like I don't know. I really fucking love that character. He was so fucking vibe. He was animated differently too. He had a shtick and he kept to it, which was fun. It wasn't even made as like a purely morally good thing, like sometimes people do. They push their own ideologies as a character and just make them perfect. He wasn't, but everything he did just kind of makes sense for his like morals. I don't know, it was just a good time. I enjoyed it. It was sick as fuck. Apparently he's even a real character in the from comics, so that's fucking awesome. But I guess he only had the ability to make that character and other characters like him because they decided to like put the movie into 2 different fucking films. I think it was like an hour and a half or 2 hours long, so makes sense. They didn't have much time. I didn't notice. Well, I guess I did kind of notice that it did take a while, and I was wondering when the story was gonna end, but I felt like it was about to as well. I don't know. The ending felt sour because we feel like a lot of stuff was on the climax. You know, anyway, point is, it was the climax, and everything was like going to like really interesting, and they just never really resolved that climax. It wasn't like halfway through the movie that they ended it. I'm sure they can fill up this like story with more, but they didn't. If they just had like another 30 minutes, they probably could have made a pretty just like fine goddamn fucking ending. But now they're gonna make a 2-hour version of that. My movie didn't spoil it. No, I won't. I'll just say that the way it ended was by nah, I'm just gonna spoil it. No one watches my videos anyway. Oh, I thought it moved left. Well, enough. It ended by Miles going to like a different dimension, which he thought was his own, but it wasn't. And then meeting an alternate version of himself who wandered down a different path instead of becoming Spider-Man. Which is actually really interesting. I'm thinking it's gonna be a really cool concept. Oh fuck, I'm actually kind of dying. Problem with it is that it's not necessary for the movie. Or maybe it will be. Actually, you know what? The more I think about it, the cooler the fuck this is gonna be. The second movie as well. I'm just kind of annoyed because I'm forced to watch the second movie. I was so invested in the plot. I just wanted to end so I could be happy. But now I think about it, The truth, I just wanted to end now. Being able to wait and watch more, probably a privilege. No, I would have rather had that they had made both movies and released them both. No, I wouldn't have it. I would have just watched a 5-hour movie. I'll be honest, that would be fucking great. I like binging stuff anyway. Yeah, the more I think about it, you could cut out stuff and make the movie end in the pace of one movie. But then it just wouldn't have been the same movie. Yeah, no. I think, you know what? The more I think about it, the more I have to just embrace that this was probably the right decision. It's gonna make the movie so much more fucking. It was made the movie so much better. Let's just talk about what is really great. Once again, the animation was godlike, music, epic, characters, nice. I've been watching a lot of like anime and manga recently, reading stuff. So it's like really refreshing to see like female characters who are actually properly written. It's just, I don't know, man. I'm a raging fucking misogynist when it comes to characters in media, in fiction, because they're just so often written like shit. Especially in anime, they just suck. They just don't have a personality, or they're just made to like emphasize a male character instead, or they just like try to make them perfect, like in a fucking like the Mario movie, for example. The Peach character had no flaws whatsoever, and that was just kind of weird. They're just so off. This movie though, a different character, Gwen. Clear flaws immediately. I remember vaguely the first movie had her being like a love interest, kind of flawless. She was like better than the main character at like being Spider-Man. But the first opening of this movie, it's been a while since the first one, but she probably was a good character there too. Opening of the second movie, clearly see her struggling and stuff. That's really nice. I became a human. Anyway. No, that's pretty nice. I enjoyed that. It's also a goddamn pregnant lady on a motorbike, Spider-Man, just swinging around. Like, what the fuck? That was just... They just decided to go overboard. They just had a lot of ideas. Miles Morales is just a really fucking cool-ass universe where they just don't say no. Reminded me a bit of some chapters in Chainsaw Man where it's like the author just kind of has some wild as fuck ideas and just says, yeah, fuck it, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do it properly. And then they do something outlandish and make sure it's real, like it makes sense in the world. Sometimes in movies like Game of fucking Thrones, in the ending, the authors just decided, you know what, yeah, we're gonna have the characters, we're gonna have all these people go into this like weird, I'm thinking of the scene where the, I think they've forgotten their names. Anyway, there's a scene in the end of the last season where some characters run off into nothingness. In the dark, they just attack the horde of zombies head on and die. It's a really beautiful scene, but it sucks. Holy shit, does it suck. It does not make sense at all. And they just waste, like, it's like the greatest army in the world. Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Why did I do that? Thank you, see ya. Allowing me to heal. Very nice of him. Thank you again. But that didn't happen this time. They do like wild as fuck shit, and it would make sense. It just made sense. It was cool. It also did really goofy shit. They acknowledged that sometimes the scenes were a bit like serious and just do goofy stuff. Or like some characters were just outlandishly edgy and they'd make fun of that. I don't know, it's nice. Did kind of have a, I did notice at some point towards the end that anytime there was like any tension, they would make a joke. You know, like a comic relief. They don't you can't have us too on the edge of our seat. We just kind of a little bit of a comic relief. Which I guess makes sense. It is Spider-Man. It's a Marvel thing too. You know, and especially Spider-Man. He's like the joking guy. He makes a lot of jokes. He's funny. And with that many Spider-Man all around, like, yeah, that makes sense, actually. I get it. But, it wasn't on the nose either. It was just at the end, I noticed that, oh shit, we have a tension scene. Are they gonna make a joke? And they made a joke immediately as I thought that. So, yeah. But that does not, absolutely does not rob the movie of any, like, points, any golden stars that I would give it. Definitely a fucking must-watch if you have any interest in animation, ever, like, thought about looking into it, and you watched a YouTube video that describes why, like, fucking Puss in Boots was such a good movie. Go watch Miles Morales. It's also just a really good plot. It's also just great characters. It's such a fucking goofy masterpiece. Holy shit. They do some wild ass shit. There's a dinosaur spinning on the rope, like what the fuck? It just kinda happens. And it makes sense in the world because everything just kinda happens. It's like everything everywhere all at once, where they just kinda establish that everything is a possibility. And then everything also happens. It's just nice. And despite having everything being a possibility, it's still grounded. It's still funny. Characters, like, and like it's also still serious, dramatic. The emotional impact is really interesting. I like it. The parents of Miles are interesting. They definitely have. They're just like normal people. They're neither gods, which parents often are in fiction. They're not even like mean either. They clearly want the best for Miles. They just don't know what's happening. Miles is considering, can I tell them about my secret identity and stuff. It's just, you feel like it would probably work out if you told them, but you also see why he wouldn't want to say it, because yeah, and get it. It's a concept that is difficult to work with. Oh shit. So I don't know. It's just interesting. Really fucking interesting. And also the main bad guy, Spot, his name is. Oh my god, did I really just miss? Is such a fucking cool ass villain. He's got some cool as fuck powers. Holy shit. I'm a sucker for teleportation stuff, like portals and things. And that is just what he is. He's also just drawn in the fucking. Oh, yeah, had I? Amazingly possible. Anyway, now I'm god now. Be satisfied. Alright, we're back. Let's see if I'm warmed up still. Oh, he's died. Wow. It feels like it was really fast, but it might just be because I just left for a bit and I had to like, help my mom out. Anyway. Please don't walk into me. Ah, you walked into me. What? Didn't mean to shoot above me. I accept that. Okay. Damn. I feel like I could have done that better if I just hadn't paused the game and left, but that's one way to end it. Damn. Alright.